Hello, this is a roundup video of all the art I've been doing recently. The past week I've been going to an art course in London at UAL. One of the first drawings I did was drawing the person opposite us. I drew her in charcoal and I don't really like how the nose turned out, but I think everything went to plan. Whilst I there, I really got an interest in doing ink, especially ink birds. This was one of the first ink birds I did and I was copying from instructions. It's an owl and I really liked how it turned out. I like this one even more, and this was, I think, the second bird I did at the college. I really like how I did the shading on the wings and how I let light spots there. Also in ink, this was timed, so it took 20 minutes I think, and we were copying from an actual object, so life drawings, and I chose a feather and I liked how it turned out. I feel like I could have done the bristles better. This was where we were copying from a image, and this was an ink drawing of a Japanese house. This was the biggest drawing I did, and also one of my favourites, I think. It's of a hawk, or a buzzard if you like, and it's super big. I used 2 pieces of A3 and I stuck them together. It took, I'd say, maybe 2 hours to finish, and I really like how it turned out. This is one of my favourites of this. It's an ink flower. And the top half was copied, but I totally went from my imagination on the bottom. Here are some watercolours. These are some watercolour birds I did, and they are really cute, and they're a new style I tried, where wet on wet, and I think it's good for starting off new. I also did an ink version, if anyone likes that. Here's another watercolour bird. It kind of reminds me of an avocado, if you know what I mean. For this was a print. So first we covered a paper with some oil pastels. Then we laid that on top of a plain sheet of paper and started drawing our bags onto it. And because it was a ballpoint pen, it engraved kind of the oil pastels onto the paper, and then we were left by that. This was another print. It was a bit more complicated. We put down paint on the table, we put down some paper, and then we drew the image we were copying from, and then we got a print. And this I added watercolour to. On to pencils, we were timed for this. I think this also took 20 minutes, and this was a life drawing of a bottle of black paint, and I really liked how it turned out because I've never tried like a hyper-realistic drawing. This was also another hyper-realistic drawing. This actually took 30 minutes, but I like the one which was 20 minutes. This is a crushed cup I was drawing from. We also did the weaving whilst we were there. This was just with paper to start us off and get us used to weaving. I enjoyed it. It was quite calming, to be honest. We also did it in fabric that we had not made, but painted on. One of the activities was taking words from magazines and then jumbling them up and then sticking them in order, and this is what I got. It's a bit dark, but I think it was fun. Also, what you did, a bit like the words, got little bits of humans and stuff and then stuck them together, and I found it quite goofy with a sword pencil. We're also doing life drawings. People volunteered to be drawn. This was in the first one again, where you had to draw the person opposite you. This was with one continuous line. This was with our weak hands, so for me, my left hand. This was for, I think this is without looking, no, what was this? I can't remember. Anyway, this was not looking at the person we were drawing from. It's a weird one coming up. And this one was not looking at the page. It turned out really weird. This was where we could just draw anyone we wanted, so I chose the two people opposite me and I did them in a really weird style. Like, I think they ended up looking a bit like statues. Here's another ink drawing of some wildlife, I think from Japanese culture, I can't remember. It was definitely from a book. Here's some ones I didn't do at the course. So this was an anime character from Demon Slayer. And here's another one, I did this on colour. The one before this isn't finished yet. I did this quite some time ago. It's a clay owl I did at school, and I like how it turned out. The wings are attached by glue tack. This is another anime drawing from Demon Slayer, and I liked how I just did the lightning in blue. You can see the progress where I just did it in pencil, a bit of ink. Then finally coloured it in with pencil, and I've done a bit with ink. And then you can't really see the difference, but I've done a bit more in ink. And then here's just adding the lightning with alcohol markers. And here's one of my favourite things I've done recently before the course. It's a owl from pencil, and yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And please remember to like and subscribe. I will be making another video soon, so watch out for that.